Right, next one up is our friend Esen Bayar. So, new generation of RF equipment, future-proofing investment in teleport infrastructures.
Thank you, Barry, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to make a very brief comment on Ankara's weather before I jump into my presentation. Hakan Parker arkadaşımız daha önce bir yorumda bulunmuş. Bazı arkadaşlar Ankara çok soğuk demiş. O da benim geldiğim ülke Kanada, bir de oradaki soğuğu görseniz dedi. Ben aslında Kıbrıslıyım. Telefonuma bir baktım. Bizde 22-24 derece. Bahar havası. Yani bize göre Ankara çok soğuk. Artık yani paylaşmak istediğim görüş açımız değişik oluyor. Şimdi de sunumuma geçeceğim. Bakalım nasıl değerlendireceğiz. Sunuma başlamadan önce ben kendimi bir de takdim etmek istiyorum. Ben Esen Bayar, ETL'in ortaklarından ve aynı zamanda Technical Director olarak orada çalışıyorum. Ve şimdi İngilizce olarak sunuma devam edeceğim. Thank you very much. I just got to figure out how to use this. Have I gone the wrong way? Yes. No? Is it up and down or left or right? Okay. Okay. Okay, just looking into our industry, looking into Satcom, the growing global satellite data demand is there. We captured this in a great detail earlier on. We looked into 5G. We looked into a number of other applications. We look into IoT. We look into reconnaissance, safety, and various other aspects of satellite communications. And we also spend quite a lot of time, rightly too, on 5G, implication of 5G, and would satellite comms play a role? I think we're all agreeing that Satcom is a vital, perhaps last mile in many applications, and we are here to assist and work synergically. In my presentation, what I will do is that I will go and talk to you a little bit about next generation satellite Earth or ground equipment. We at ETL pretty much design everything that sits between antenna and modems or baseband. So anything RF, including RF over fiber, are the fields of our expertise. If you look into the presentation or the slide that you're seeing there, you can see how the data rates go up as we go from the conventional satellite or the DBS or FSS type of systems, where we have got a big footprint defining the AARP on Earth, to the later HTS and very high throughput satellites, where we have got multiple beams and capitalizing on frequency reuse by polarization and ensuring that there is ample isolation between the beams. This increases the capacity massively, and we can see the throughput figures there. What our industry is looking from us as earth station or ground terminal equipment manufacturer is to produce products that are future-proof, lowering costs, and capable of handling the increasing data rates that we are seeing and demanding. So some of these data rates are coming from the fact that we're now moving higher carrier frequencies. We've seen KU to KA. We spoke about VQ bands. There are challenges as we go through Q bands. I'm not going to repeat those because we covered those multiple times. But these are also bringing other aspects that perhaps as industry we need to be better prepared. and these are the IF frequencies. It's not just transmitting to the satellite and bringing it down, but we need to be able to process the data, process the frequencies that we are receiving at ground terminals. And we also need to make sure that although Q and V are not there, we are almost all convinced that Q and V bands are going to be hit here, and it's going to bring broader IF bands. And our equipment, today's equipment, need to be future-proof to an extent that we will not have to replace this. We have produced, manufactured, designed, manufactured, delivered number of equipment which we call them KA band ready and QV band ready. What does Q and V band ready means? That means the IF band is extended. Conventional IF band used to be 850 megs to 2150. Now you will see equipment that goes up to 2450, 2850, 2750, 2850. But the latest QV band ready IF equipment are going up to 3150. Now we spoke about intermodulations, and I've seen a number of presentations where we are dwelling on IMD as third order intermod products. We got to wake up and understand that the second order intermodes are coming in, because at IF we are dealing with octave and beyond in terms of bandwidths. So to prepare to that, we came up with a new generation of equipment. We call these a new habitat. We call it a GENIS habitat. What do we mean by new habitat? We are introducing intelligent modules, intelligent chassis that are addressing many of the aspects we spoke earlier today. One of those aspects is modularity. The chassis are going to be, or are, intelligent, smart chassis. The modules are equally smart and equally adapted to next generation of satellites. So what we have here is that we're going to have a range of equipment where the chassis could be used for any functionality, such as, if you look at here, matrices. Switch matrices are something that we are expert of, and you can put into this chassis, one chassis you see up there can take two 8x8 switch matrices into it without having to modify the chassis in any way. The chassis is adapted to change from coaxial to fiber payload. We heard a little earlier that when you're at high frequencies like Q and V bands, you want to make sure you're transmitting in fiber. This goes beyond just Q and V band. Fiber output is here and used by many of us. Specifically, if we are now going to do a diversity site, Q, V, millimetric wavelengths, diversity is very important to protect ourselves against precipitation layers, atmospheric attenuations. Again, something else that we spoke about. So in short, we are coming up with smart chassis, smart modules, future-proof, and we are doing this in a way that it is going to be COTS, custom off-the-shelf products, and it is already being delivered to a small number of customers. We currently work very closely with some of the very big satellite operators, including SES and Viasat, Inmarsat, Intelsat, Eutelsat, and a number of other customers. And yesterday we have heard a lot about SES talking about their Empower, their MEO constellation. GENIS is already there. GENIS is already in their roadmap. So what we're going to see in forthcoming days is that we will see a habitat of products that is smart chassis, smart modules, and the end user can adapt these to their requirements as time goes and as their requirement changes. Here you can see another chassis, and if we are to compare this 2U chassis with respect against the 1U chassis I showed you a little earlier, you will see that it accommodates exactly the same power module, exactly the same CPU inside, exactly the same protocol. The way that you will manage is going to be very similar. But what we're also doing is that earlier on, Our friends from Profen spoke about maintenance and preventative maintenance. These modules are not going to give you data as a raw data, but this equipment will give you data as information. It will tell you, if you want to drill in, you will find out when a module is manufactured, when it was sent, how its environmental conditions. I've been to earth stations in Hong Kong, in Malaysia, in Taiwan, and you know what? I've seen them cooling their entire earth station or the site where they have their equipment by opening the doors, and the fan blows the air from one door to another across a very long corridor full of equipment. Humidity is about 85–90%. Temperature is about 35–38 degrees C. I've been to earth stations where the conditions are very benign, 18 degrees C, humidity control at 60–65 degrees. The life expectancy of equipment is going to be different. If you look after it, it will last forever. All these data will be recorded. You can turn blind eye and don't look at it. But reality is, those who look after their equipment will see equipment running forever. And if you want to see what happened to that equipment, you can go and get all this data from the equipment. There is going to be a huge amount of data for us to use and benefit from. So looking into, I covered the intelligent reporting, mean time to failure, mean time to repair. In one of my previous presentations, we spoke about mean time to repair. Mean time to repair, in our case, refers to the fact that you have got a warning, not a failure. For example, there are two power supply. One power supply thinks that I am getting too old, or I am about to fail, or have failed. It doesn't matter, because the second power supply will take care of it. But it will send you a message saying, change it. We quote our mean time to repair as 30 minutes, but reality, 25 minutes of that is to go and retrieve your spare, and now you're going to have the same spare, no matter what equipment you have. Modularity is there. And 5 minutes to replace it. Of that 5 minutes, 3–4 minutes of it is scratching your head, trying to understand how you're going to change it. Real task is less than a minute. An interface. User-friendly interface is everything for us. It's what we call machine-human interface. It's a very similar to some of the aspects that we got used to. If you got a smartphone and you scroll, all these screens are capacitive touch screens, and it will give you that feel that you're using your mobile phone or your tablet, and it is very intuitive. And here, what we can see is at the bottom left corner, there is a fault condition. It defines it. It just doesn't tell you that there's a fault. It diagnoses it. It tells you what is faulty and what is the reason for it. So you learn about your equipment. Hopefully, you will take care of it straight away, because it's so simple to do that. I'm going the wrong way, actually. Oh. Sorry about this, but I got one more slide somewhere. I've done that. I think I will kind of conclude it here, because one of my slides is missing. But just to conclude the matter is that we are coming up with new generation of ground sector equipment. We call this GENIS. It's a habitat. It's a range of chassis, range of modules. The functionality of modules will cover everything that you can think of, pretty much everything that you can think of. And you can use the same chassis to populate this. It will give you coaxial output. It will give you fiber output. It's your choice. You can change. You can update. You can correct. You can improve. That's all I'm to say here. Thank you very much for your attention.